Before we get started with today's video, I would just love to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. This year flew so darn quick, I couldn't keep up with it. I can't believe it is Christmas again. Nevertheless, if you do celebrate it, Merry Christmas to you all. If you don't, that's 100% okay. I do wish that everyone does spend this awesome day with either your friends or with your family or loved ones. And for the people that are at work or spending it by themselves for whatever reason, I'm sorry guys. For you, next year will be better. Nevertheless, let's quickly jump into this video for the people that unfortunately has to work and has got some time for lunchtime. So nevertheless, this is a Lamborghini and I'm struggling to pronounce the name of it. Centenario? I'm not sure. Nevertheless, this is a V12 normal aspirated engine. And guess what? It's a 6.5 liter. For a V12, that is pretty big. The engine name is the L539. And I'm trying to find out more about this car's engine. I actually came across something that was pretty mind-boggling and interesting at the same time. So the latest model of this car and a model previously from it, there isn't much difference engine wise. There's literally an 18 horsepower difference. So the people wanted to find out what is the difference from that car to this car that makes it so much more expensive and you only get 18 horsepower. Turns out they just shifted the rate limit a bit. I'm not sure from how much to how much. They just let the RPM limiter go 500 RPMs more and there is 18 horsepower. As easy as that. Nevertheless, let's quickly jump into this car. So we're gonna quickly go over the upgrades. So we're gonna start here at the conversion, engine swap, and just to let you guys know how I am doing things on this channel now is I only tune the stock engine. If you actually want to see this V12, the other V12 being tuned, do let me know in the comments below. I'll do it for you guys with a smile, and I'll probably have the video out for you within a week. Going over the drivetrain, we actually kept it at all-wheel drive. Ooh, that's a big difference. 9.2, 6. I just want to see something. The house outweighed pretty much, but I mean this car has got so much power it will be difficult to actually just worry about rear wheel drive. So yeah, we still have it on all wheel drive. For the aspiration, we have got it at twin turbos. So yeah, if I did not mention, this V12 is actually normal aspirated, so with the twin turbo this thing is gonna be insane. If we quickly run over the engine, we have literally installed everything to race, and oh yeah, let's just check this out. This is always interesting for me. So this is a 6.5 liter, and when you bore it out, it's a 7 liter. That's insane. So here we go. I don't know why I like to see it. I think it's just the fact of knowing that how much meat to actually take out of the engine. 500 cc's of engine meat. It's like a metal. That's a lot. Going over the camshaft, race pistons, race turbos, race intercooler, and obviously our race flywheel. Going over the handling, we have got the rally springs installed. I always take rally springs. They just help so darn much of traction. For the chassis, we did not do any, sorry, not the chassis. Well, it is technically a chassis reinforcement. Roll cage, we didn't install it because it just adds to weight, and we did the weight reduction. Going over the drivetrain, we have got the race clutch. We have got the 6-speed race transmission. Honestly, can I give you guys my opinion? I didn't try it. I wanted to try it, but I actually got a very good tune for the 6-speed. I would highly recommend you guys trying to use the 7-speed if you really want to try to tune this car by your own. Literally, it just felt to me like this car doesn't like too long gears, so I kind of got it balanced out of the 6-speed, but I think it will do a little bit better with the 7-speed. But nevertheless, going over the drive line, we've got the race and race diff. Quickly going over the tires, obviously we've got drag tire compounds, also known as slicks. Going to the front, we've got the widest tire, and here you guys can see I actually have it owned. You can literally put on a smaller wheel and your times will be the same. I never tried this one, but I just stick to this one in the front. This car does actually have something very weird to it. Whenever you stand still and you wind up your RPMs, the front wheel is starting to move by itself. It's kind of weird. But nevertheless, for the rear we also have the biggest brothers. For the rims, you can literally put on any rims, make sure they are the lightest, and guess what, the Lamborghini rims is very light. As you guys can see here, usually I always go to this mag just to indicate what is the lightest mag, because I know for a fact that this mag is always the lightest mag, and as you can see, it's literally not changing the weight, so the normal ones are fine. For the tire rim size, we did not change it because that just adds to weight. For the aerodynamics, you can install it if you want to, but I didn't, just to save some additional weight. Ah, damn it, that one does way more. Okay, so let's quickly go to the tune. So for the tire pressure, we have actually placed both of them on one bar because of traction reasons. The higher it is, the more the car will spin. Even though the higher it is, you're going to have better top end stability, but if you can't get off the line quick enough, you are bound to lose. So nevertheless, we've got one bar. You can actually take the front tire pressure up a bit because, sorry, I don't like to jump like this, but we are mostly driving with 75% power in the rear and 25% power in the front. So that's why I say you can actually install sorry, smaller tires in the front, or you can just increase the tire pressure a little bit. Going over to the gearing, gear is the best gear ratio I could have found for this car. You will notice that in 4th gear, this is the gear that I actually use to pass the camera. You can actually, if you got the 7th speed, you can maybe try to pass in 5th gear. I think you'll have a really good time. This car loves its short gears. Going over to alignment, and nevertheless, if you guys want to use this tune, do not worry. Are you done now? Thank you. If you guys want to use this tune and you're too lazy to copy everything down, I'll drop a share code for you guys in the comments and in the description as well, so don't worry about that. Going over the alignment, so we have got our front camber on a massive -3 negative. The car actually, I've adjusted it in some way so that the car just brings more of the weight towards the back, even though there's not a lot of weight in front of the car because the engine is mid-engine, also known as rear engine. So I think a lot of people will actually criticize it. It is more of a mid-engine, like those old Beetles are more like a rear engine. Nevertheless, so yeah, that is why we've got it at -1.3. So as the car actually does pull away, the nose does lift up, this -1.3 negative camber will actually go to a 0 because of the nose lift. And for the rear, it is positive 0.5. So as the weight is going from the front to the back and the nose is lifting, the back suspension will actually compress because of all the power and weight going down to the road. It will make a positive camber into a negative camber. So this will result into a plain 0 camber at all. Okay, so nevertheless, that if you guys want to find out a little bit more about the camber, I'll drop a card for you guys in the top right corner, just where you guys can learn how to tune that yourself. So for the toe, we've got 0-0 angle at 7. The anti-roll bars, we got that stiff. For the springs, we got 28.9, which is very soft. It's just so that we can make sure if the car does pop a wheelie. No, I'm kidding. It's just to make sure that the drive is soft and everything. And also, if you do look here at the bottom left corner, it really helped out with the 0 to 100. Even though this is not accurate, guys. Literally, you can maybe take it one up and it will go from 1.7 to 1.9. So this is just like an idea, whatever you're doing, if you're going the right direction or the wrong direction. And it just seemed to me like this car enjoyed a much softer front suspension. For the rear, we're about 50 to 60% all the way to stiff. It's just to make sure when the power goes to the back, it actually grips, it holds on, and it launches. So for the ride height, obviously this is a sports car. It wants to be a little bit closer to the ground. Here we got an 8 centimeter and an 8.8 centimeter. Also, I just want to let you guys know that this is a baseline tune. You guys can always work from here and hopefully improve the tune a little bit. So for the, the damping, as you guys can see, rebound stiffness and bump stiffness. If you guys are not aware what it is, it's technically as your shock compresses and pulls out and all of these kind of things, you always want to see your front rebound and your rear bump being very similar to each other, and your rear rebound and your front bump to be very similar. As you guys can see, they are very similar, then you know this car is going to be a smooth car to drive. It's going to do awesome times. But nevertheless, even if this is not right, or it's can be differently. It doesn't matter. This is just like a starting 101 damping thing. And guess what? This car loved the suspension settings. Going over to the aerodynamic, if you guys did install any aerodynamic body kits such as the wing or the bumper, just take everything down to speed. We're not going to take any corners in drag racing. For the brake, I actually dropped it to 80%, and now I'm wondering, isn't that maybe why my front wheel is spinning? Let's keep it at 90 and just see what happens. So right over here for the differential, we got 100, 0, 100, 0, and 75. So I've got this massive feeling that I think it's my front, let's really see, that it's my front wheels actually spinning when we pull away. Obviously, there's not so much weight in the front of the car to press the wheels all the way down to the ground. That's also one of the reasons why I placed it at 75, a bit more to the rear. But yeah, if you guys are struggling too much of traction, you can just go a year to the front and the rear, just drop the acceleration a little bit. Nevertheless, let's go do our 400-meter pull. So this car is, as we all know it, a all-wheel drive car. You don't have to do a burnout on it, but I just want to show you guys quick. I'm going to accelerate. It does spin quite a lot, but that was obviously because the boost hit in. So if we do, there we go, there we span a bit less. So because this is drag wheels, just normally drag wheels likes to be a little bit hotter than ambient ground temperature or whatsoever. So if you want to give a small spin with this car, by all means go for it. Just do a small reverse and a first gear pull. And that will be more than enough. Let's just quickly line her up. So with this car, it has got over a freaking 1,000 horsepower. Where is that post? There it is. Awesome stuff. So this car has got over 1,000 horsepower. So what you want to do is you want to launch at 2,000 RPMs. And the good thing about this car is you can actually use launch control on it by holding in the handbrake, having clutch activated, and pressing and holding in clutch where you want to launch. But nevertheless, that if you want to pull away on 2,000 RPMs, this car already spins a bit too much for my liking. So let's send it and see how much we can get. Come on! Oh my gosh! 303.99. That's literally, let's just call it 304 kilometers per hour. This car just traveled past the camera. That is insane. I actually wonder if it might not be my fastest car. I actually forgot how fast my Supra is. I actually gotta go check it out. So this car is flying, everyone. I'm so impressed with it. So we're gonna quickly go and do our drag race. Alright. Oh, we got one on each side. This thing cheated! Look at it bounce! But actually when it does get grip, look at that! I think it's coming in! That is insane! Let's quickly go over the difficulty and settings. So over here you guys can see traction is off, stability is off, and shifting manual with clutch. This car is going to spin a lot in first gear because this tune was actually made for the camera trap speed and not specifically for this drag race, even though this tune is going to help. So if you guys are spinning too much, you can put your traction on over here. If you guys still don't get good traction, you can come to your first gear under gearing and maybe make it longer, put it on 4.00. If you're still struggling, you can go to differential, make your acceleration for your front and your rear a little bit less. Just keep doing this and you will get much better times. Even if you look here, we're at 1.704. Earlier it was more, I could have sworn, and we didn't change anything. Let's quickly do this race. Oh, we're going against the Bugatti. Come on. Oh, there we go. Oh no, it's coming in. Oh wow. Did that car just outrun both of us? Oh, that's a bad time. But nevertheless, my gosh, that Bugatti was fast. I really thought it was between me and him for first place. And then a Koenigsegg beat us. And it had a pretty impressive time. My average time on this car when I was doing the drag racing before was about 13.650 to 13.680, so we weren't too far off of this Koenigsegg. I do think that if we actually had to tweak the settings a little bit, as I mentioned, to avoid that horrible first gear wheel spin, we would have done so much better. But nevertheless, guys, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, make sure to drop a big like. If you would love to support the channel, especially if you're new, hit the logo at the bottom right corner to subscribe. If you want to see a similar video, hit the icon on the left. If you want to see one of my most recent videos, hit the icon on the right, and then I'll see all of you legends in my next video. But for now, peace out everyone.